Saturday, 3 o'clock, Old Trafford is the venue as we host Hull Tigers. That's their proper name, isn't it? Right, let's start things off. There's been lots of talk about James Wilson and Robin Van Persie's form, so that is our first point. Gaz, it is a pleasure to have you back. How you doing?
Oh, I'm great, Sam.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
You're welcome, Gaz. Gaz, tell us what you think about James Wilson and Robin Van Persie and who should be playing more football.
Well, Van Persie's gone, mate. I've been saying it for a while. Sorry, I'm gonna get loads of hate for this, but I don't really give one. He's gone, and his heart's not been in it for about 18 months now. And I'm not sure if it is that his heart's not in it, or if he's just knackered. He's too old. But yeah, he's got no pace. The turn of pace that he had it's disappeared now, man.
Damning words.
Even his physical presence, he doesn't seem like he's getting himself about at all. And I just think when Wilson comes on in the past few games like he has done, he's just made a difference and he's looked better. So I'd stick Wilson there above Van Persie.
Wow. How so?
No hate, please.
What do you say about those damning words?
I'm with him all the way. I think what we've got is a little bit of a Berbatov and Tevez syndrome, where we're comparing two players and one's got this excitement and this exuberance of youth, and the other is a jaded old pro. And
Shit.
Van Persie is looking worse for that. But James Wilson is a quality player who scores goals and he's grafting. And Van Persie's not doing that. It's been a head scratcher that Van Persie's been left on, when he's been making substitutions and stuff, because he just doesn't look good enough to be in the side at the moment.
Okay.
I've picked James Wilson and I'm hoping he plays.
Okay, Adam, let's get your opinion on this, and also perhaps in defence of what's happening, that Robin Van Persie maybe is just out of form at the minute, and in a few games he'll be back to his best, and that last season we depended a lot on a young player in Adnan Januzaj, and this season, when his form's not been quite the same as it was last year, he's been getting a lot of stick. Should we be putting James Wilson in that same situation under that kind of pressure?
Well, yeah, I think if you're good enough, you're playing it. You can't say, because Januzaj's been under pressure. It may be different for James Wilson. So I think James Wilson deserves his chance. Robin Van Persie hasn't looked that good this season. He's got a few goals, but his movement in behind defenders and stuff, I know he hasn't relied on his pace, but he's lost that pace that he did have. And he only ever looks good when he's got someone right up there with him. And he hasn't had that in recent games. James Wilson, though, when he plays for the under-21s or when he gets a brief glimpse for the first team, he's playing good football. And not only that, he's mixing it with his players, getting involved in the team play. Robin Van Persie had 12 touches against Arsenal. 3 of them were corner kicks. So, he's obviously not getting involved, even when he's not in that final third. So that's worrying as well.
Just to be clear, I was joking when I shouted out that Van Persie was shit. He's not shit. He's just out of form.
Do we agree with what Gaz said earlier, though, when he did say it, Gaz? Do you think Robin Van Persie's past it? Are his days numbered at Old Trafford?
Yeah. Yeah.
How
well, he won us the league, though. He won us the league, didn't he, a couple of seasons ago? So I'm never gonna. I don't. Even though I just have done, I'm not gonna disrespect him too much. But yeah, I think he's just gone now, and it's a shame for him. It is a shame. I'm gutted to see him. I'd love to be proved wrong now. I'd love him to go and score 20 goals, but he's not gonna.
Okay. I think if we keep Falcao, then I think his time is up. But obviously, if we were to keep Rooney and Wilson, say, as our main 2 strikers, there's no reason why Robin Van Persie couldn't be used sparingly. And we've done it with Rio Ferdinand in the past, where we've managed players that have injury problems and so on, and just play them at the right times. I think he could do a role like that for Man United. But if he wants to play week in, week out, then maybe he's got to go to Italy or something like that.
Adam, if Hernandez was still at the club, would you be saying play Hernandez, drop RVP?
No.
Interesting. Very interesting. Right, let's talk about formation. Stephen, I'd like your opinion on this. What is our best formation? Why do we keep changing it about?
It doesn't matter what our formation is, to be quite honest with you. I had a look at the player influence on the 442 app.
Do you have a spreadsheet?
Last week.
Spreadsheet.
Not a spreadsheet. This is on an app, you see. But if you look at the average position of all our players, it basically looks like a 4-3-3. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what we put out in terms of a formation, because as Van Gaal's been saying all along, it's his philosophy that's important. And his philosophy is to get the ball down, play football, try and attack down the wings, and look to get the ball into the middle. And it doesn't matter what sort of permutation that is. No one really has got such a defined position.
Big word,
permutation.
Right.
Don't worry about this.
Come on, let him speak. If you don't understand, Google it later.
I think as long as we're putting the right players onto the pitch, it doesn't matter, what the formation is, because once they're on there, apart from the defence, the midfield and the attack move around a lot anyway. So Formations are old news, man. It's all about
thanks. I feel really good about asking that. Adam, do you agree?
I think I kind of agree with Howson a little bit.
So hold on, just to be clear, you're saying, the two of you, that it doesn't matter if we start 3 centre-backs or 2 centre-backs, we're going to play the same style of football. Let
me finish, Sam.
Yeah.
Basically, if we play the same style of football, but as I've said many times, when we play a 3-5-2, occasionally in games it becomes a 4-1-2-1-2, 4-3-3, and so on and so forth. I only think the reason that we'll go with 3-5-2 this weekend is because we haven't got that many players to occupy that left-back role. Who can play? We've got no Shaw, no Rojo. Reece James has just gone out on loan. So we'll have to play Ashley Young. He can't play left back, so we'll have to play wing backs. So there we go with the 3-5-2. But if we had a left back, we'd be playing 4-1-2-1-2, 4-2-3-1, or 4-3-3. So I think the way we will play will be pretty much the same, but the formation depends on what players we've got available.
I like the diamond. I always liked us when we played the diamond.
I like the diamond too, Gaz. Gaz, tell us what team you're going to play and what formation you're going to use.
What was that, sorry?
Tell us the formation you'd use this weekend and what team you're playing.
Well, you've got to play 3 centre-halves this weekend just because of the injuries. And like Adam says, with James going out on loan. So I've gone with, obviously, De Gea in goal. Smalling, McNair and Blackett as the centre-halves, even though Johnny Evans might be back this weekend. And I think that Johnny Evans is a better defender than...
He's not, sorry, Gaz. He played for the under-21s, but... He's not
ready. Right, well, that's that problem gone. But I just wanted to play the same defence 2 weeks in a run for once because it's doing me head in that we're not doing it. So Smalling, McNair, Blackett have gone with Valencia wing-back, Young as the other wing-back. It's as the midfielders, obviously these will be swapping about a bit, sometimes centre-mid, sometimes one of them will play behind the striker. I've got Rooney, Carrick and Marouane. Because Fellaini is just mint. Marouane. And up front, I've got Falcao and James Wilson.
Wow. Take that, Di Maria and Robin Van Persie. Howson, tell us yours.
It's Hull, man. It's Hull. And I want to see James Wilson play. It's Hull. And
I've dropped Di Maria and Van Persie as well. Don't worry about that, lad. I'm going for De Gea in net. I'm going for McNair, Smalling and Blackett. Sure, Adam. Across the back three. I'm going for Valencia and Young and my wing backs. Same reasons as Gaz, really. I'm going for Fellaini because I think you've got to reward good form. Mm-hmm. Yes, Gaz. We've played him, to be honest. And I'm going for Herrera because I think he's got to play. Watched him in the under-21s last night, and considering the opposition aside, it was quality, and I think the sort of balls forward that is what we need. I'm going for Mata just in front, and then Rooney and James Wilson to start against his favourite team. It might be his favourite team.
Mac, we haven't got loads of time. Would you drop Di Maria?
No, I wouldn't at all. No,
I think it's just that's all right. That's fine.
His performance was good against Arsenal, so he just never had that goal, and he missed that great chance at the end. So if he can get a goal against Hull, he's on it. Take him off after 60 minutes.
And when I said we haven't got much time, right, guys, predictions. Howson, go.
4-0.
Wait, we've got to talk about Arsenal. No, we haven't. Hull. We've got to talk about Hull. We're doing the offer. We're talking about Hull.
Sam, Howson, professional, got a blue tick and all that.
I know.
Howson.
Right, they've lost the last 3 games. They've not won since the 4th of October. And as much as I like Steve Bruce, whenever he comes to Old Trafford, he brings 3 points with him, doesn't he? So,
Gaz,
essentially
who are we worrying about?
To be honest, right, before this preview,
our defence.
Talking to me.
Yeah, come on, Gaz.
Anyway. Before I was so rudely interrupted, before this preview, I was thinking about Hull, and I realised I don't think I've seen them play at all this year. Literally, I didn't even know where they were in the league. I've had to look it up and everything.
Excellent that you're on this week, then, guys.
That's how much of an impression they've made on me. So they can't be that good. We'll do them. They're all.
Adam, anyone to worry about?
They keep getting men sent off. They went down to 10 men. They were leading against Spurs, and then they lost.
They've had 2 red cards this year. I wouldn't call that keeping getting sent off.
Good stat.
Okay. Well, the 2 times I've seen them play, they've had a man sent off. So,
right, well, you watch them again
anyway,
this weekend.
Diarmi and Jelavic are their top goal scorers. So, obviously, they'll be their main threats for the goals. But they've got Tom Huddleston in the middle as well. So, he's big and he throws himself about. So, he could do some damage to our midfielders. It's why I'm not sure whether I would pick Herrera.
Okay, interesting. All right, guys, give us your predictions. Howson, go.
4-0 to Manchester United.
Gaz.
I'm Daily Blind. I'm going with 3-1. 3-1 United.
Adam.
5-0 United.
Okay. You might remember last week I predicted it was going to be 2-1 United versus Arsenal. Guess who got it right? This guy. This week, 3-0. Put your money on it. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. And guys at home, let us know what you think. Give us your predictions. Tell us what you think about Van Persie and Wilson and the formations. Subscribe to Full Time Devils and have a ruddy good evening.
Yeah, when we flooded forward, Rooney was our quickest player, and I mean, we needed that ejection of pace at that time. We were very slow when we were on the attack. I mean,